This gentleman, I cannot say more, he was a man of integrity. He hated, he despised lies or lies. He couldn't stand a lie. He just could not stand anybody lying around him. In fact, his favorite verse, Mark 8:36, he loved this verse. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? He really loved this verse. I cannot really end this all before speaking about August 22. There's so much to speak, but let me fast forward to August 15th, 2022, just before the results were announced. It was chaotic, but just around noon, a call came in and the pastors wanted clearance at the gate. So they requested that the chair asked the protocol team to allow them to have quick, free access. So he was getting ready because he had come back very early in the morning of August 14th. I heard him telling his team that he would be announcing the results on that day at 3. He hadn't slept, so I forced him to sleep for at least 2-3 hours so that he could take a rest. And when he woke up, it was cold that kept waking him up, so he woke up and he was dressing. So as we were preparing him to dress, we kept on getting calls. And at one time, the security came in and said, I don't know who was waiting at the gate, we don't know who was waiting at the gate. But to fast forward, the call that came in was from the Archbishop Olesapit, requesting that the chair close the gate to get clearance. Now, I overheard that conversation because he was busy dressing, so he was on speakerphone. And I said to him, why don't you ask the Archbishop to come home? And he says, why would he come home now? They are heading for, I said, no, let him come home. It turned out there were 14 of them. So when they came home, a team of 14 came in. When they came, I just told them, I pray for the chair every morning. I used to pray for him every morning before he leaves the house, because the spiritual leaders had told me I am the Esther of this country. So I used to pray for him every morning, just at the door before he leaves. So that day I prayed for him. I couldn't pray. So when the Archbishop came, and the entire team, there were 14 of them, I said to them, I'm not able to pray. Can you please pray for this day? Can you please pray for the chairman? As he proceeds to go and announce the results. So he went, they came, they took 5 minutes to get home because we don't stay far from Bomas. And when they finished, they did not sit, they just stood up, prayed and left. But I made sure before they left, the security team ensured the chairman was in the middle of this convoy. I don't know for what reason, but I just found myself insisting, telling the security guys to delay a bit because he had not fully dressed. He needed to dress up to prepare to go. So there he was in the middle of this convoy all the way to Bomas. When they got to Bomas, they believed this was the chairman's team, so they put them to sit at the back of the podium. The podium that they were going to announce the results. But ideally they were supposed to sit on another platform, but they were made to sit at the back. To me, that was divine intervention, because when the fracas started, it was the men of God who were behind him. It was not any other person. It was the men of God who were sitting behind him. And I thank God for that day. And in the process of that fracas, you have had, we tried to reach him, we couldn't reach him. Somehow Rachel reached him, and she was trying to tell him, I don't like the way you're speaking, are you okay? People are saying you've been hijacked, whatever. And in his calm demeanor, he kept on saying, no, I'm okay. I tried to reach him. I put on my phone, my phones had been off. And the security, I told the security detail to just go to him to see if I could talk to him. I asked him, is there anybody you're seeing around him that you think I know? He says, I'm seeing Bishop Oginde. So I told him, give Bishop Oginde the phone. And he gave him the phone, and I asked Bishop, I said to him, you know you're a man of God, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth, is my husband alive? He said, yes, he's alive. I said, I repeated, you are a man of God. Just tell me the truth. He said, I can see him. He's alive, but he's surrounded with people, so I can't even give him the phone. Thank you very much, Bishop. That made a big difference. We were really stressed at that time because people were calling in, calling Rachel, calling me, saying, Chairman is being compromised, he's refusing to announce the results, and a lot of talk. So that was a very difficult day for us. But God came through for us. He really came through for us. So we thank God. And I want to say, when he came home, after he announced the results, he was so tired he just slept on the sofa. And then when he woke up, he asked, is there peace in the country? And I said, yes. And it just turned out there was the TV was airing, the people, at that particular time it was some young people in Kisumu. And this young guy was saying, wakati huu hatutarusha mawe. So I told him, you can see for yourself, the country is peaceful. And he said, so why did anybody else think that the country was not going to be peaceful? And he was so excited. He said, I know I have made the right decision. What I needed is to have this country peaceful. I was not going to be the one to cause bloodshed in this country. So he was very clear about that, and he was very peaceful after that. And the rest, you know, we went for the Supreme Court, and the rest, you know. So on 12th February is when he was admitted. But he had been in hospital for about more than a month, almost 2 months. In ICU, he went and then came back to the ward. Then when they're just about to discharge him, he picks a hospital infection, so they retain him. Just again, when they're about to discharge him, he picks a hospital. So the day he just survived the hospital infection, we requested the hospital to release him because they had already told us they'll be releasing him to palliative care, which they did. We set up a ward for him, a proper ward, oxygen, everything. But somewhere along the line, he got up. His oxygen levels had gone down, but they were improved, but the doctors insisted he goes in. So he goes in on 12th February, and he's admitted. And 2 days later, his lungs have fluid. And then on Saturday, he has a cardiac arrest. He had a cardiac arrest, and the doctor comes out and says, we've lost him. I was there with my young sister-in-law, Eliza. There was a lot of emotion. And Rachel says, no, I'm going to the room. The doctor says, you need to see what you're seeing there. I had been there earlier and I could see them trying to resuscitate him. So I left the room to go and pray. I went to one of the rooms we used to sit, and I said, God, just give us another miracle. God has just been kind to us. You heard what Rachel said. We had been given 4 to 6 months. Chairman went on and on and on. The doctors, even when they were now getting discouraged, because we were encouraged, they came back on. And they kept on saying, he's on because of the support that he's getting. So he's continued fighting. When he would go down, we would be worried. Then again he comes up. Then again he goes down. So that is how he was. But we thank God that on that day, the first cardiac arrest, Rachel went to the room. She found they were still resuscitating him. I don't know what she told him, because immediately after that the doctor said, we have found a pulse. And they started clapping and they were all excited. Everybody in the room was excited. Remember, we had just been told we've lost him. So he survived that day, and that day he had 4 more cardiac arrests. He survived them, and the following day he was okay. That was now Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at night. I had talked to the doctor around 11 p.m. So that's why I was a bit surprised to get a call at